This video was meant to be titled Cars 3, my favorite movie of all time. Because yes, Cars 3 was my favorite movie of all time, but then came this. The new Violet Evergarden movie completely shattered my plans by dethroning Cars 3 with fucking ease. This movie came out a few weeks ago, because I am slow at making videos, but it crash landed on top of me and stole my fucking heart. But I still really want to talk about Cars, so I'm going to do both. Cars 3 is the greatest sequel ever made. Yes, you heard me right. Sequel. This movie doesn't exist, you fucking hear? Okay, I'll admit I'm not the biggest movie fan out there, so I'm not basing this claim on a lot, but I'm still confident in saying this. Also, a quick spoiler warning for Cars 1 and 3, also the new Violet Evergarden movie. That's more in the second video, but whatever. Please watch all of these fantastic films right fucking now. So, Cars 1 is a fucking classic. Everyone has seen it, and if you somehow haven't, you've at least heard about it. If you're just a lovable main character, Lightning McQueen going very fast. It's a fantastic movie in its own right, but if you couple it with Cars 3, then you're looking at a fucking masterpiece. So, Cars 1 is about Lightning McQueen training with his sensei, DECO Hatsune, the retired legend in racing that has long since retired because he went through a devastating crash that marked the end of his career in the middle of his peak. This mixed with the fact that the new young generation were more evolved and faster meant that his time was at an end. So he trains McQueen and he becomes the new best. Cars 1 is good, it's a classic, but it doesn't challenge the medium in any way. McQueen gets trained by the best and replaces him as the new best. Woohoo, the hero takes the win, who could have seen that coming? Don't get me wrong, I love Cars, I think it's a great film, but relatively speaking, it's not anything special. Now on the other hand, Cars 3. Lightning McQueen has been the reigning champion for years, no one being able to even get close to him. He's at the top of his game, no one can beat him. He might as well be fucking God. He loses. The beloved Disney mascot loved by children worldwide wasn't unstoppable, he lost. And for real this time, there's no one to hate, no one playing dirty, he was just not the best. He has a horrible crash similar to Doc, and immediately you think, we've seen this before. As if by nature, our brains connect these two people immediately, and it's so good. But more on that later. For now, we'll talk about the fact that this movie opens up with a big risk right off the bat. They show that the character kids have been looking up for years wasn't unstoppable. Kids' movies just don't do that. They always want you to look up to the main character. They always want you to look at them and think, yeah, they're the best, that's my hero right there, I wish I was as cool as them. But no one looks up to losers. This is a groundbreaking moment for so many reasons, and no one could have seen it coming. If you claim that you actually saw this shit coming, you're fucking lying and you need to shut the fuck up. There's not a single person that finishes Cars thinking, yeah, Lightning McQueen could easily get beat. That's just not how his character was built up. And if that somehow is your impression, you were just not paying attention to the fucking movie. This movie shows the reality of every star. Eventually, they have to go. Cartoon characters can live for, well, forever. They don't have to stop being stars, but they still decided to rip away Starship. Like the CPS ripping away my kids from me. Like, please, Karen, give them back! They show that this time it was finally over and it was time to hand over the torch to the next generation. Insert Cruz Ramirez, a girl Lightning McQueen goes to for help. He wants her to train him so he can be the best again. Lightning McQueen hasn't accepted that his time is over yet, so he's pulling at the last strings of his success, hoping to be the best again, but of course it's futile. It takes the whole movie for this motherfucker to realize his mistake, and in the final race he accepts it. He gives Cruz his number, literally passing over the torch to her, and tells her to finish the race instead. Because it's your turn now. This movie is such a good depiction of someone realizing that their time is over and passing it to the next generation to carry the title of number one. This could be a parent giving their heritage to their child, or something like giving a hoodie you've grown out to your little sibling. You might want to hold on to your glory days for as long as you can, but eventually you have to let go and let the new guys take over. Now I've talked about one aspect of the movie. Another one is how good of a sequel is this. What you're seeing here is basically the first movie, but instead in the eyes of the Doc, a lot of things are obviously different, but the core concept is still the same. Doc handed over his success to McQueen, and McQueen handed it over to Cruz. This movie revisits what happened in the past while paving the way for the future. It somehow manages to be a prequel and a sequel at the same time. It's fucking genius. It doesn't need to be another Cars movie because this one tells you what's gonna happen. Cruz stays at the peak and eventually she too has to pass over the torch, continuing on the cycle forever. Fuck, dude, this movie is so good. I'm gonna have to remind you, I am talking about Cars, the children's movie, by the way. Yeah, I do love this movie. Thank you for asking. Now that we're established that Cars 3 is the greatest sequel there ever was, and also one of the greatest movies there ever was, now we'll move on to Violet Evergarden. Ha, you fought, bitches. We're not actually doing it now. That's reserved for next video next week. I'll see you guys next week with part 2. Have a good one.